Hey, I have a few pictures. I put together a few pictures that maybe we could look at and chat about.
Sounds really fun.
Okay, let's keep it going.
I think we have like collective effervescence together.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you feel it. Write in, send an email to me, and let me know if you're feeling the effervescence. Right?
Yeah.
Dear listener, let's just start right from the beginning. This is kind of a funny, sort of like a risky play moment. Todd.
Look at that face.
Yeah, look at that face.
Yay! My attention these days are how do children work together?
Yes.
Right? In a group, especially when they're moving. And if you notice, they're really good about not bumping into each other. That's what I've come to learn about toddlers. They know their own bodies in space, and they mostly know what they already can do. And they don't often do things that they can't do, and they rarely have mishaps of running into each other. And I've tried to think about that because I used to play duck, duck, goose with a group of toddlers, and they would all run when we said goose up this ramp I had in the room. And I was like, there were like 12 of them on this little ramp running at the same time. And there was never a mishap when they ran into each other. And I sort of account for that is that we have some sort of awareness of our body in space with others because we're social beings. And if you think about other animals like birds, don't run into each other when they're flying in flocks. Birds don't run into each other when they're running really fast. So there's something magical about how we feel and see each other in space. So again, that's not always 100% true, but you know the kids who don't notice, you know the ones who haven't had enough experiences with that in their life. So that's what I noticed about this. They did really well not bumping into each other, even in this tricky thing.
Yes. Well, okay, so let's watch it again.
All right.
And this time, watch what happens after he triumphantly makes it to the top.
Okay.
Something happens. The finale.
The finale. Yay.
And maybe that girl next to him. He's up.
Yay.
But then she comes over.
Yeah, but she didn't push him.
No.
She held on to him.
Yeah. She was just like, I'm just getting up. I'm just.
Yeah. That was great.
But in that one, it almost feels like he was concentrating the whole time, getting it, and then he got up, and then there was this celebration where you almost like you could let down your guard a little bit, right? I made it. I did the hard thing, but then suddenly there was an unexpected thing that happened that he wasn't like, and it came from behind too. When we think about like toddler risk, like there it is, a big rubber tire, and it looks like a rubber surface on the ground. Definitely not hazardous.
And I can get people's, your disposition towards risk is a really important one to pay attention to. And I always used to do this thing where you would line up. How many of you think they're going to die? How many of you think you can get more tires that are piled higher? And you get on this continuum and you see all these different dispositions. And we need each other, right? Because if we always paid attention to the people who thought they're going to die, we wouldn't let kids do anything. But if the person who kept wanting to build tires higher and higher, they could die. So we need each other's dispositions, and we need to talk it out with each other rather than talk behind people's backs, because that's what I noticed. Did you see? She almost let the kids die. She never lets the kids do anything. So
the dispositions. We need all the dispositions.
Exactly. And the other thing I say to people, if you're always stopping kids from doing everything, you need to get a new job, because it's not your job to stop them. Right? You need to help protect, but it's not your job to stop it. Anyway.
So here's something that I wonder again where people would stop, but that idea of like, I mean, it's got that energy that you can't stop it. It's on the go. Let's see. Okay.
Those hoops are the best toys. We have a bunch of them. That's a cool playground. Did you design this one?
No, no. Pretty simple. Lots of loose stuff.
Yeah. Look at that brain at work.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like the super attention.
Yeah. That's so good. That's the best thing to do, concentrate on one kid. I think that's a really useful strategy. Just to watch everything one child does, you kind of get, whoa, this is my old program.
Okay, so loose parts
Yeah.
can be simple as
This
that.
was like the most difficult yard. It was so small, and we tried everything to make it interesting, but it was just this, mostly concrete like this and tiny yard, but we figured things out.
Hmm.
Or the kids did, right? These are bins to hold things, but they turned them into something else. And again, you see this collaborative play, right? That's enclosure, it's transporting, it's this incredible connection with the children have, and they want to do it together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're in it together,
Yeah.
seeing what happens.
Same with this. I love this.
Yeah.
I got those little chairs at the thrift store for like 50 cents each,
Mm-hmm.
just so we could have chairs, but they would do this incredible parade of chairs. They would lift them because they were just the right heavy, right? For
Right,
them to get
right.
proprioception. And then they would just do this march around this tiny little, really not adequate toddler yard, but they figured things out, right? And they did it over and over again. And again, you can see the schema, the repeated actions
Right. The
and
parade.
transporting and lifting and all,
Yeah.
and then the connection with each other, right? They just saw, oh, I'll do that too. Nobody said, oh, let's have a parade. Oh, hey, everybody get a chair. They just thought, oh, that looks interesting. I'm going to do that. So they
Yeah.
did.
And then I love it, like it's a ramp, so that's like
Yeah.
an interesting,
Yeah, well,
nope.
that was me trying to make a little there was this like garbage area off the side of the church that the guy always put extra stuff. So I was going to go haul it in and make ramps and things that bounced and just to try to
Yeah.
make some interest. And
I love it. I love it. And even in the background, there's like plants and water jug,
yeah,
sand pits. So
yeah,
then this is like a more formal loose party
yeah, I would
area.
try to collect, things from the yard and then other things and make a pretty little invitation to notice the sensory elements and sort, and you could get under it and work from inside or around. And then I'm always intentional about looking at what baskets that I'm getting, like that one that's got two and then one with a handle and
Oh.
interesting shapes. And again, you see schema theory here, right? Like enclosure, connecting, lining up, like the children did this part of putting the little pieces of tree branches on top of the wood rounds. So yeah,
Hmm.
that kind of thing is intentional for like the sensory elements and also the schema elements.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's some pine branches there that
Yep,
seem to
that
have
I
some,
got off the tree.
yeah, smell and some stickiness maybe.
This is another, she had these decks off the side of her every room that the kids could go out on the decks. It's like it was an extension of the classrooms. Anyway, so this is another thing that I think is powerful for toddlers because toddlers like to transport and move things all over. So I intentionally created this circular arrangement of the tables
Mm-hmm.
so that the kids could move the things from table to table and have a way to do that, have like an enclosed place
Mm-hmm.
that had them do it. And again, it has the natural parts and schema theory in it. Just these, interesting textures. And again, if you want to help contain toddlers, you create a structure for them to move in a way that will be okay with you, right? I can carry this to the next one is sort of the idea. I can carry this thing to the next table.
That's right. That's right. They have freedom of movement and ideas and decisions, and yet it is contained within this this grouping.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I learned that phrase structure for openness from Betty Jones. It's full idea that you don't
Oh,
create structures for everyone to follow the same thing. You create a structure, but it offers opportunities for people to use it in many ways, open ways. So
yeah.
it's
I
not
love
just a whole
that.
bunch of stuff all over, right? It's
Hmm.
very intentionally planned and designed a structure, but it's an open-ended idea to use the structure that way.
Yeah,
You
I
know, at
love it.
some
I
point,
love
I
it.
might even turn a couple of the tables over so you can get inside them.
Oh yeah.
That would be another, schema, right? That you have these tables that now you have the things you can hold on to and sit inside.
Hmm. I love it. I love it. And then I love that you just have that old beat up log piece
Yep.
part too. It ain't pretty, but how interesting is it? A million textures there, and
Well, yeah, and you probably, Angela Hanscom's work about proprioception and vestibular development. So kids are always wanting to walk on things. Always like, why are you walking on all the toys? It's because they're seeking input from their feet. And
hmm.
so that's another thing that you can stand on that log when you're a toddler. That's a tricky balancing thing, and it gives you
Hmm.
input into your feet. So they're always seeking ways for their body to move that helps their brain develop. So
Wow. Wow.
that's another intention around it.
I love it because, some might think, oh, you want to keep that area clear because that's where the motion's going. But no, it's like, no, we want to make it a little more complex.
Exactly.
Yeah, and interesting.
A
Very
little
clever.
more
Very
input,
clever.
structure for openness.
I love it. I
And
love
see the
it. Yeah.
tire wheel. That's another really interesting
Yeah. What's,
notion. I could see kids like rolling it. That's rotation and circularity, interest in circles and
mm-hmm.
moving, rotational movement. And then I could also see them getting inside it, putting it down and stepping in it. So all
Hmm.
kinds of interesting ways to use that.
Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting one because some might look at that as a dangerous thing, just kind of a knee jerk. I don't know. I got my fingers caught in a bike spoke, or whatever. That even though that's traveling at a high rate of speed.
Right. Well, and it's possible it could be
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
But you just have to
Right.
watch. There's
Yep. That's
and
right. That's right.
how they use it and negotiate with yourself and them to do what it is they are finding interesting, but keeping it safe.
That's right.
That's how
That's
I
right.
think about it.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, another enclosure, intentional enclosure. And it's just so powerful, right? To be inside that together.
Yeah.
It's the together.
They're together in a whole different world.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And those see-through
Mm-hmm.
purple
Mm-hmm.
fabric, and we
Mm-hmm.
did a lot with those fabrics, that
Mm-hmm.
enclosure. And that's also orientation and perspective, right? To be inside something and to look up and see through.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Um,
I mean, her face and heart and the hands just, experiencing that and that idea of like, this isn't complex. It didn't cost lots of money.
oh
There's,
yeah.
you're using a clip I see in the top right, just a classic, and yet that has such an incredible, powerful, beautiful, experience or, opportunity for experience.
And it can change too, right? You can change it in a minute.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And then there's, yeah, this,
I'm
this,
trying to remember where I saw this. I got to give credit to who I saw. I think it was maybe somewhere in Arizona. Somebody.
okay.
So basically, what it is insulation that you get
Mm-hmm.
at the hardware store, but it's like bubble wrap on the inside, covered with like a foil. So I don't think it's, necessarily environmentally unfriendly, especially if you use it this way, because it lasts forever. So
Mm-hmm.
it comes in like different heights. Like this is the shorter height for toddlers, but it can also be a tall one. And then it comes in lengths, like really long. So it's the most interesting thing to play with, right? Because you can create enclosures and then you can get in together. You can move with it and carry it with each other across the room. You can put it on the ground and slide on it. I had kids put it up against they did this, put it up against the slope that we had. Yeah, here they are moving inside it. They invented this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got that enclosure. It's got this transporting themselves. It's together, all of those things that toddlers dream of. Yeah, see that? Don't you love
Yeah. Yeah. A whole
shadows and
world.
sparkle that happens in there? And they did this thing where they let everyone who wanted to get in. It was just got full. It's
Wow.
and it's not very expensive. It's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm not sure about how environmentally friendly it is, but they're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that amazing the way it like shines and the
Mm.
texture of it, of the
Mm-hmm.
aluminum, of the foil.
Mm-hmm. A simple.
Yeah,
And
I
yet,
love that.
yeah, complex and ever changing.
Yeah,
And okay, so this is being used commercially, say for insulation and stuff.
yeah,
And you're using it for children's growth, development, spirit,
right.
exaltation, and that's a good use for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Like I say, I saw it there. This is them on the side of the hill.
Yeah.
They created this.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
They're
And
amazing.
yeah, and then a little extra cushion underneath.
Yeah, and see how they have a bucket?
Yeah. Of course.
Everybody has a bucket.
Mm-hmm. Got to have your bucket.
Yeah, you do. You have to slide with your bucket.
Yeah.
Again, that togetherness. So yeah, then this is me finding all those ways to make it a little more challenge in this boring yard. So I would get all these extra pieces of wood lying around and
Mm-hmm. Gosh, this is one I showed this. You sent these pictures before I did a toddler conference.
right.
And then I did like a risky play risky play roundtable where we all kind of talk about, the different feelings we have with risk and where we are on on the spectrum of risk. And just to hear all that, it's very fascinating where some
I
people
bet
are
a
like,
lot of people hated this one.
yeah, so I posed the question to the group. I was like, so what would you do as if you're supervising to, help make this a safer, and one woman was like, I'd put guardrails, I'd put banisters, it's like,
We need
yeah,
us all, Rusty. We need us all.
we need us all. I like that. Yeah, you work together. And
Yeah.
actually that woman had in an emergency room. She was also a nurse previously before being an educator. And so all she saw were children coming from
I'm
mishaps.
sure. And we need her perspective, right? Because
Mhm.
she saw all that horror.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I get
Mhm.
it.
But also then balanced with people who are like, no, well, let's watch or let's, get close and see.
Or
And,
someone like me is like, let's build it.
yeah,
Let's build a risky thing. This is those little archway, that aluminum pole archway.
Yeah.
Supposed to be for growing things, but we never did that. And the director was insistent that we not let the kids climb on it. But talk about having to be the police all the time.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Don't
climb
get
on the rail.
there.
Don't climb. Anyway, so we
Even-
tried to make interesting
Yes, always another
to
picture of
walk
it back
through.
here. Yeah, well, really, it's like, yeah, I noticed it here. Like
Yeah.
you want it. That's
Yeah.
perfectly to climb and swing and.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I put like cloth over it or things that hung from it that you could make move, bells and things like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And then even
And
more.
here I am. I found those spools in like a neighborhood garage sale, and those boards were in the side of the yard in the
Yeah.
garbage dump. But I mean, look
Yeah.
how cool is that? You can create it and recreate it
Mm-hmm.
best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, like a knee-jerk reaction, someone might think, oh my God, and because they don't have kids and they're not in this moment, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But really, if you look, the moment looks pretty chill.
And I find that the kids who won't be able to handle this, right? The ones that will think they're superhuman and can fly off of it. But the ones who can't do it won't do it. That's my experience of being with kids. If they're like a little risky about it, they won't do it. And so you got to know the ones who think they're superhuman. Those are the ones you really have to supervise, because everybody else is just like being really cautious. The other thing I try to remind people of, these people have been alive less than 5 years. And what have they been doing since the time they were babies and couldn't move? They were figuring out how to move, right? They know more about their bodies and how they move than we do about ours. We've been turning ourselves, numb to our own bodies, a lot of us. So I try to remember how much information they have about what their bodies can do. And I notice that children mostly don't do things they can't do. They stay safe mostly. So just try your own research. And again, if something feels unsafe to you and you're worried, you shouldn't have to deal with it, right? You can change it. Say, I'm uncomfortable with this, is what I'll say. I'm uncomfortable with this. In fact, we had these big trees. We had this huge yard with huge trees. And we also had a school age program. So the kids wanted to climb these trees. And I felt really uncomfortable. I was even younger then, like 20 years younger, but I couldn't get them out of a tree if they got stuck. So I would tell them, you can't climb the trees when I'm here because I can't help you if you get stuck. But teacher Cindy, she's to climb those. She was one of these, I called her She-Rock, because she could scamper up a tree in 5 seconds. So when she was there, they could climb the trees if she was willing, right? To be their support or guide or whatever they call it. Anyway, so you have to be uncomfortable. It's like, okay, if you're like, the whole time, then put somebody else in charge of it. You can say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. Will you take over this supervision?
That's right. That's right.
Again, just boxes, enclosures. We want to be in them together.
We can't help it.
We like each other. We do it together. Our brains want to be enclosed together. Makes me so happy.
I think maybe just have a cup of water thing.
You don't have to do much, because water is pretty magical, right?
Oh my gosh.
You can change it. You can transform it. That's the best thing about water. That's that schema. It transforms. Look at that. Isn't that? He probably did this like 50 times.
Yeah.
Where he did the water, and that was, to me, the issue here is water conservation. Like, don't waste the water, right? Can you pour that somewhere else so we can keep it? But this was just too cool. And I think that's another cool strategy to do, is take photos, freeze them, and do zoom ins so you can see what the children are seeing. Right? Sees this. Her brain takes in more information than mine does. So I have to freeze it to see how amazing it is.
And there she's seen over and over.
Over and over and over again. She did this.
Yeah. And there it is, also like the magic and mystery of the world, of our planet. And here we are, adults, we go through, oh yeah, I've seen, whatever, I've seen water, blah, blah, blah. But really, if we see it with fresh eyes, look at the patterns of both what's the splashdown, which is incredible, and the ripple effect in the orange.
And what it took, the way she poured it to help that happen. Right? Like there had to be a particular strategy to make that not just, but to, she figured that out, obviously. And plus you look at sort of the ripples and.
Very clever. The loose stuff, some gutters and those galvanized.
Gutters are great because they're really inexpensive and they are so sturdy. You can do so much with them.
Balls. Okay, I think those are the photos. Fun. That was fun. If somebody emails me at playnaturepodcast@gmail.com and shares if they had any effervescence or moments, with that. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Rusty.
All right. Thanks, Deb.
Be in touch.
See ya.
Bye.
All right.